Afternoon everybody, welcome to another edition of 15 questions and 15 minutes of fame with a good pal of mine. Listen to me, Blackburn Rovers, and you're going to say, who are they? Ewood Park. They won the league, the Premier League, many years ago. And this lad remembers it, I promise you. Russell, how are you, my friend?
Great to see you, Webby.
Great to see you too. Thank you very much. You're more than welcome, big man. Listen, I'm trying to get all different clubs around Britain, whatever, whether you support Hartlepool, whether you support Birmingham City, who are they? You know what I mean? It's that type of thing. If you want to come on, 15 minutes of fame, 15 questions, come on the show. Simple as that. If you're not here and you want to do it from home, we can do it. Get in touch with me. So it's 15 questions, 15 minutes of fame, and we're talking Ewood Park, Blackburn Rovers. God dearie me. I think this could be a bit of a short one. That's what Russell told me. Listen, before we start, I've known you for a few years, obviously staying locally in my little manor in Kansovaki. Just give us a bit of background of Blackburn Rovers, how long you've been following them, and why, where and when. Is it through your family and what have you, Russell?
Yeah, basically my dad was a big Blackburn Rovers fan. He used to take me as a little kid, sit on the wall overlooking the pitch when you could do that in those days. To be honest, he did join the board in the Blackburn in the 70s, was chairman in the 70s, where a group of local businessmen basically used to keep the football club afloat by donating money. My dad had a haulage business. There was Bill Fox, the fruitier, Will Bancroft, who owned the local mill, and basically they kept the club running in the bad times in the 70s.
Great information. Obviously, we've never discussed it, have we?
No.
To be honest with you. And obviously, you remember a few years ago when you had obviously Shearer and Sutton and so forth. What year was that? What year you won the league on that one?
90. It's our anniversary, 30-year anniversary this year.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was 94, 95.
30 years ago. Well, 94. That's when we came to live here in Tenerife. 30 years, 3 pubs later. Superb, absolutely fantastic. So, do you go and watch them? Do you have a season ticket, or do you go?
Yeah, still got a season ticket. Go every home game.
Yeah. Still
enjoy it. And we've had some rough times over the last few years, but you've got to support your team through thick and thin. That's what I've always believed, and that's what I do.
And you've got a couple of Coventry players, Hyam, who was a young lad who you bought off us, 18 months ago, I think. And then you've got McFadzean. What do you think of Hyam at the moment?
He struggled a little bit with injury last year. The first season we had him, he was outstanding. He was probably our best player, certainly our best defender. A bit of injury last year, and I think we rushed him back because we were getting a bit desperate with the relegation struggle. I'm hoping a good pre-season behind him. When he's fit, he's probably one of the best centre-halves in the Championship.
And obviously McFadzean, 35-ish, he was Coventry. We got him, if I remember, from Burton Albion. With another one, little Jamie Allen, who's still at Coventry, and he's experienced, lost the pace, but he can still play probably a good sweeper and so forth. And obviously Blackburn's taking him on to have that experience with the young lads that play around him.
Yeah, everything you hear about the guy is positive, and I think the manager just wants him in and around the place. We've got a lot of good young defenders, and somebody like him can offer a great deal. Plus, if we want to go 5 at the back, he's not a bad person to have as your central defender.
Yeah.
He's still very solid. He's still got a lot of attributes.
Super. Right, listen, let's get on with these 15 questions. This is what it's all about. We're going to give Russell 15 minutes of fame and the 15 questions. Let's see what answers he's got. And look at that behind us. Yeah, that will come up a little bit later. Right, first question, my friend. Your favourite current player at Blackburn Rovers?
Well, it's got to be Sammy Smodics, hasn't it, really, after his amazing season last year. But unfortunately, I don't think current player will last much longer. I've got a feeling we might see the back of him even by the end of this week.
But he never scored a lot pre that, did he? It was just last year fight, is that right?
Yeah, I think he got a bit of a free road, and the system suited him, playing Gallagher up top, and he could get him behind him, and he was very clever. His runs off the ball were very clever, and his finishing was just second to none. You probably saw a lot of goals yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good player.
So hopefully, and he wants a go at the Premier League, and he deserves it. He deserves his big payday, and he deserves his chance at playing in the Premier League.
And you've got to shake his hand and say good luck to him.
Good luck to him.
That's what you do.
He's probably single-handedly kept us in the Championship last year. Without him, I'd dread to think where we would be.
Well, at the bottom, you had a bit of at the end of the season, it was a bit duck and dive, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had 2 wins away at Leicester and away at Leeds, which you wouldn't believe we'd probably beat those 2 teams. And those are the 2 results that kept us up, really.
Yeah, you did. Second question, all-time favourite player?
My all-time favourite player has got to be Alan Shearer. I just don't think there is a footballer, well certainly not in my lifetime, a forward like him. He was just absolutely prolific for Blackburn. He suffered a cruciate ligament injury, and all credit to him, he came back a different type of centre forward, because when we got him at first from Southampton,
that's right,
he had a bit of pace about him. People don't realise he was quick, but after that injury he changed his game around. I think he scored, was it 260 goals in the Premier League for ourselves and Newcastle.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely, it was just a joy to watch, really.
A legend.
We're just so lucky to have him at the club.
I think he loved himself though. I've got a couple of stories, so I'm not going to say it on camera, but yeah, I think he it's like, for example, if as long as he scored every week, he was happy.
Yeah, I guess that. I suppose that's what most centre forwards are, and that's what makes them a little bit of a special breed.
Yeah, for sure.
They just want to score goals, don't they?
Third question: best signing your club you think has ever made?
In my lifetime, I would say Tugay.
Ooh,
the Turkish delight.
Yeah, I remember.
The best footballer.
Was he number 10?
Yeah. Well, he was a midfield player. Yeah. But unfortunately, Tugay came to Glasgow Rangers when he was 29. If he had left Turkey earlier, he'd have been ending up at the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas.
Gotcha.
He was a special talent, a real character as well. I believe he used to have a fag before the game in the showers, and one of those half-time have a fag. But to me, it was worth the entrance fee to watch him in the warm-up with some of the skills.
No, listen, that's a great answer to that question. Number 4, let's go to the other spectrum. Your worst signing, you think? Somebody they spent a few bob for and they thought, oh, he just never made it.
I'll be honest with you, since we've dropped out of the Premier League and we had Jerome Anderson and we had all his cronies, I could pick many. But the one I'm going to go for is Leon Best.
Do you know someone? Yeah.
Striker.
Coventry as well?
Yeah,
Coventry. Lazy.
Well, for us, and I've looked how much. If it was current figures, it would have cost £16 million for 12 appearances, and he scored 2 goals, so it would have been £8 million a goal.
Left-footed, wasn't he?
Yeah. I also believe, and it wasn't a good player to have around the dressing room either. So for me, that was a complete disaster from start to finish.
Straight away, I know exactly what you mean. If you just joined the channel, Webby Sports Roundup here in sunny Tenerife, in my little manor. I'll do 15 questions, 15 minutes of fame. Anybody want to come on the show? Russell, who obviously is on his jollies here, has kindly said, Webby, I'd love to come on. And if you fancy it, just get in touch with me, send an email, webpaul36@gmail.com, and we will see if we can accommodate you. And if you enjoyed what you see, hit the subscribe button and don't forget the like button. Right, next question. Away grounds. You've obviously been to 1 or 2. I know you're basically a home man, but the best game you have been to. That's the first one. What's the best game you've been to before to grounds?
I think it go back to the year we won the Premiership. If you can remember, we were stuttering. We were quite a little bit ahead of Man United, and then we had 2 or 3 bad results. And the game before, the final game of the season, the one before it, we played Newcastle, and we beat them 1-0. And the atmosphere was, you don't have to see it Park full, as you've probably seen on the telly, but it was full to the rafters. The atmosphere was exciting, and it was a game that Tim Flowers made an amazing number of stops to keep us with a clean sheet. It was a game after he came out on the telly and he said, we're not bottling it. He was still so pumped up after that game, but the excitement and the feeling after we got the 3 points, which kept us in front of United going into the last game of the season. And obviously, you know the end result.
Great question, absolutely super, great answer to be honest with you. Away ground, you've obviously been to 1 or 2 over your time supporting them. Best away ground you've been to, you think?
Difficult one, that, to be honest, but if I go back to the Premier League days, I can always remember going to Stoke City in the Tony Pulis days, and the My Delilah, and when you've got Rolly Dillap throwing that ball into Peter Crouch and every other 6-foot player they had, and the crowd was on. It was you think, gosh, this is intimidating. It was that does stick in my mind. That
I'm sure I've had somebody else say Stoke City as well. Tell you the truth, that sticks in my mind as well. Bet 365, big money people.
Yeah. It was just the My Delilah when the whole crowd was singing. I don't know what the capacity is, but it say 30,000. It was It was quite intimidating. That.
Super. Club you dislike the most? Are you one of those that don't like those? When you're in the Midlands, Coventry, Villa, Birmingham, Villa, and all that type of thing. Do you have one that I think I'm going to guess it? I'm not going to say nothing. Does it begin with B?
It does begin with B.
Okay, yeah.
It's our local rivals, Burnley Football Club.
Yeah. Is it that bad?
I would suggest the hatred. Oh, I don't like using that word over football, but there's a lot of animosity. We went through a stage where all the fans had to be bussed in. They had to meet about 8 o'clock somewhere, and all the fans had to be bussed in under security and the police guard. You had to be frog marched to the ground. You know, there is a lot of animosity. To be honest, I've got a bit old for it all now.
Yeah, sure.
But it is, and all credit to Burnley. They have done very well in the last few years. Give credit to Sean Dyche. He's got them in front of us really, because what he did, get them promoted, and they've kept in front of us for the last 5 or 6 years.
Super.
Hopefully this year we'll get one over them, but we'll see.
You never know, do you?
No.
It's going to be home and away. It's going to be big, isn't it?
It is, and we played them quite early as well.
Yeah, for sure. Number 8 question. Do you have a second? I like this question. A second team. Do you have a favourite second team you follow?
I do have a second team.
Oh, go on then.
It's Manchester City. Going back to
what? You're having a chin bath. You're having a chin bath then, yeah? Yeah, go on then, Man City. Why Man City?
Well, going back to the time when I supported Rovers in the early 70s.
Yeah.
We were in the old Division 3, Division 2, kept going up and down. So the Premier League or the First Division seemed a long way away in those days.
Yeah.
So a lot of Blackburn fans had a team, and it was Man City, and that was going back to the Colin Bell, Mike Summerbee, Franny Lee era. And I did go quite a few games. I went to 69 Cup final against Leicester.
Yeah.
And it was a great time to be a Man
Joe
City
Corrigan.
fan. Joe, great.
I remember Doyle. I remember all those as
Alan
well.
Hawkes, yeah. Tony Buck, Neil Young,
Do you know something?
Tony Coleman.
We've never discussed football. I've met you quite a few times. I had a few sherbets with you and your good lady Tracy, but I didn't realise how much you were into football, to be honest. And I'm so glad you've come on today. This made my day. Absolutely superb. Good answer that one, that's for sure. Second team, right. Fans, again, it's probably the same answer, isn't it? The fans you dislike the most. Is that going to be the Burnley boys as well?
No, I'm going to say Man United.
Ooh, we're going to Man United. Why do you dislike Man United fans?
Well, firstly, I can't. They have a lot of people from down south, and I just cannot understand why anybody from London or South East would support Man United, but they do for some reason. They seem to have an arrogance with them. They support Man United, so they seem to think they've got one up on everybody else. Possibly because of the Ferguson years,
of course,
which they were, to be credit, they did very well. But it's just something that
fair comment.
And I see them in the pub at home. And it's been good to see them suffer a little bit in the last few years. It's
like over here, you know, you obviously with Tenerife, you know, busy island in the Canaries, and you see a Man United shirt, and you say, "Where are you from?" It's not like, you know, what part of Manchester. You say, "Where are you from?" And he comes out with a Cockney accent or whatever. But listen, it's the same with a lot of other clubs. You know, whether you're Liverpool as well, or you know what I mean. It is what it is. It's just that if that's the way it is, and that's the way it is. Great answer. Right. If you had a chance of signing a player for Blackburn Rovers, who would you fancy? Is there one you would fancy? It's a tough question.
Because obviously in our reels, it's basically I'd like us to sign anyone.
Yeah.
I think up until today we're the only club in the Championship not to sign anybody this year.
Yeah, no.
We've got a couple boiling under, but at the moment we're not signing anybody. So it'd be nice to sign anybody.
Is there a reason? Because you've got the people that own it. Is the chicken, the people who own the chicken business, isn't it? Yeah. What are they called?
Venky's, that's
right. Now, why did they purchase the club a few years ago? You wonder. But it's not to make money, it can't be. Because Blackburn are not the biggest club, they only have 13, 15, 18,000 on a good day, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, so you think, where's the money, where's the interest? You know, are they from that particular area and they just want their name out for chickens? You know what I mean?
I think originally when we were in the Premier League, obviously that gave them high profile.
Yeah.
I think the big question is why they've kept with the club over the last 10 years when we've been struggling in the Championship.
So they have been there a long time, haven't they?
And to be honest, if it weren't for the Venky's, we would be suffering. They lose it over, they put in about 20 million a year just to keep us going.
Yeah.
They have problems at the moment in India getting money out, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're struggling for signings.
Okay.
They've got a court case in August, and hopefully they'll get a positive decision on that, and they'll release some funds for us to be able to sign some players.
Good check. Let's have a look. What manager would you like to have? Who's your manager at the moment?
You've got me. But here,
even I can't think now, to be honest with you.
The Birmingham man.
Yeah. No, I know.
Basically,
John Eustace.
John Eustace.
Even I can see him. I can see a picture. Thank you very much indeed. John Eustace, ex-Coventry as well, midfield, Watford. He can do a job, but his hands are tied, don't they?
Well, to me, he looks like he's going to have we're going to be solid under him. He knows how to set up a team, how to defend, like he did last year. Last year we drew lots of games because we stopped conceding goals. Previously, we were JDT were conceding goals for fun. I think we let more goals than any other team in each other. So he does know how to set up a team. If he could get a little bit of creativity, then I think we'll be a mid-table team. If he doesn't get any creativity, we're going to have a long.
I think you're always going to be thereabouts. That's for sure. Right. The big question, which I always ask everybody, which I love, and I'm happy for somebody to say one. I'm not happy if the other one goes in. Now, we've got a nice behind us. Love it. Messi, Ronaldo. So at the end of the day, in their prime, Ronaldo or Messi?
Well, there's only one answer I can give to this.
Come on.
Because Tracy, my partner, who you know well, her big hero is Ronaldo. So
I do. I'm with that. Right, that's it. We've finished the interview now. Ronaldo was top player.
Yeah, the cardboard cutout of Ronaldo gets in the way in our house.
And the reason I like Ronaldo, not because of his stature and he look at me. I understand that and his arrogance. It's just that because he can head the ball, he's left, right, free. He can do everything. And Messi is basically a dribbler, a left foot. They're both phenomenal. And it is a bit of a toss-up who you pick, but you either pick one or the other. And at the moment, with all the interviews and everything, I think we're probably level, probably 50-50 at the moment. So I think with somebody coming on in a minute, then they're going to tip it the other way. So I won't be too happy with that. But I appreciate it. Thanks, Tracy. Right, 3 to go. Would you have Harry Maguire in your side?
If I was a top 4 club, I wouldn't be doing. I don't think it's a top 4 centre half. I think if you're challenging possibly to get into Europe and you're a 7, 8, 9, 10 team, then it's probably a decent centre half.
Yeah, good shot.
But he's not. For me, it all depends on how you want to play. If you play high line, then Harry struggles because he's not pace. If you're playing deep and the ball's coming on, then he's a solid guy and he'll win more than he loses in a battle. But depending what level you're aiming for, really.
Good check. Right, 2 questions to go. We're on number 14, very, very quickly. Obviously now Gareth Southgate has left. Whether he's been pushed or resigned, nobody will ever know. Did you rate him?
No. I thought he got the job under false pretences. He failed at Middlesbrough. He went into the FA in an admin job. He ended up managing under 21s. Obviously, Big Sam did what he did, and he ended up getting the job. And particularly the Italy game, that really grates on me because we're 1-0 up. We're absolutely battering them, and so negative. He sat back, tried to keep the 1-0 lead, and we all know what happened. It ended up. So the negativity, it's just. I'm glad to see the back of him, I'll be honest.
Good shout, great shout. No, that's great answers, really, really is. Before we go to the last one, let's see. We've got 3 guys now who are all roughly the same sort of favourites. You've got Eddie Howe, you've got Steve Potter, and you've got Carsley. And they're all about 3 to 130. They chop and change who's favourite. Which one would you like to take the job if it was offered them? Because I think one of those 3 will get it. The rest got Pochettino, Klopp, they're all 10s, 12s, 14s and what have you. Out of those 3, who would you like to take?
Eddie Howe, I think.
Because?
Well, firstly, what he did at Bournemouth was absolutely, I think people forget, he took Bournemouth from the old Division 4 right the way through. He can develop players. He seems to have a strategy, seems to have a plan. He plays attractive football. He ticks the boxes for me, really. Potter, not quite sure. Obviously, he was dealing with big players at Chelsea, and that obviously didn't quite work out.
He was good at Brighton, that's why Chelsea got him and what I do.
So, Carsley.
Is he another yes man like Southgate? Was obviously under 21s.
So after the 3 you've said, definitely.
I'm a big Eddie Howe fan because obviously same reasons because of Bournemouth. They're superb there, and you want a good Englishman. But we don't want any more yes men, do we? No. That's what's happened over the years. That's, as we always say, that's why Cloughie never got it.
Exactly.
Sam Allardyce obviously wasn't a yes man. 1 game, 1 win, boss gone, 100%. But then it all changes, doesn't it? Last question, big man. do you watch women's football?
No, I don't.
There's your answer.
Simple as.
That's it. Simple as.
Not for me, I'm afraid.
No. I've watched bits, I must admit. If some of the big games, I only watch a few, but I do turn over. But when they go on the floor, they do get back straight back up.
Well,
and not like some of the whinging buggers footballers that we have that are on 200 grand a bloody week.
I'd love to know what Roy Keane and Graham Souness actually think about some of those ladies sharing their commentary box with. I'd love to know what they truly think about it.
Super. Listen, this has been this is one of my best interviews. Love it. You know your stuff. I've enjoyed it. All I can say is, I'm going to say thank you, Russell.
No, thank you for inviting me.
Pleasure. Big Blackburn Rovers fan. Big love to his good lady Tracy. We'll see you very, very soon, sweetheart. Listen, if you like what you see, you like what you hear, all you got to do is subscribe to Webby Sports Radar. Hit that like button and let's get some Blackburn Rovers comments. Let's push it out to everybody. So all I'm going to say, until the next one, here in sunny Tenerife, in my little manor, from me, Webby, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.